Hello everyone! Today we're going to be looking at French words that the English use, but when they pronounce them, the French have absolutely no idea what they're going on about.
Okay, so the first one, disclaimer, I don't say it like this and I don't really like it when people say it like this, but it's buffet. I would say buffet, but...
So buffet would still be understandable to the French ear, buffet absolutely not, and in French you say buffet. Okay, number 2.
Next one we have is potpourri.
Okay, so the first time I heard potpourri, I thought that was referring to the Pope. And that is me despite speaking English every single day of my life. So I think there was no link with the original word in my mind anymore. But the French word is pourri.
Sounds the same, right?
No. Okay.
Okay, so the next one is nougat.
And when I hear nougat, or some people will even say
yeah, some
nugget.
people say nugget. I mean, I haven't heard that personally, but I know that it is the case, and yeah.
So that gets difficult to understand. Then you think they're talking about chicken nuggets.
Well, that's what I thought as well.
But some people say nougat, right?
Yeah, I would say nougat.
Yeah, and so there it's still, I would still know what you were on about. In French, however, you say nougat. Yeah.
Okay, right, next one. So, I would say this beret, but I have had this called BERRET.
And again, beret, I kind of know what you're saying. BERRET, you've lost me. Because in French we say BERRET. Un béret. Je porte un béret.
Okay, next one we have CUL-DE-SAC.
So this, I suppose, is still alright to understand. It depends how fast people speak and if people actually have the knowledge of how you write it down, and might also skip some of the letters in the saying, but it is CUL-DE-SAC, so we don't pronounce the L in French.
Whereas when we see it written down, we would pronounce the L.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because in English you pronounce all the letters, right?
Yeah.
But in French we like to have a lot of letters that are not pronounced.
Yeah, well, not always in English, but yeah.
Oh, and an interesting thing is there's plural, right?
Yeah, so the plural is CUL-DE-SAC. But I mean, it's now been accepted as cul-de-sacs as well, because that's the way the English would do the pronunciation for the plural.
But for the French, the second option would make no sense because it's Q, plural, de sac, so Q, U-L-S, de sac. It's like bags of bottom. So it's the bag of the bottom, or the bags of the bag of the bottom. Sorry. So you cannot have the plural at the end. The plural belongs with the bottoms, not with the bags.
Which is technically correct in English, but it's also technically correct to have it at the end.
And now it's been accepted in both ways in the language, which is quite interesting. So you've adapted to, I mean, yes, in French when you have the first noun, well, this kind of works like a compound noun, and in English you would have 3 separate words.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a compound.
If you translated it. Yes, and in French compound words you have the first part is the plural, not the second part. And in English it would be the opposite. So.
Yeah.
Okay,
next one we have hors-d'oeuvres.
Okay, so again, this is one where, depending on how you pronounce it, people might understand, French people I mean, but the proper way, or the French original way of saying this word is hors-d'oeuvres. So if you say d'oeuvres at the end, people are just imagining there's like extra letters at the end. which in French, of course letters are there, but you know they're there and you don't pronounce them. So if you're pronouncing letters, then the French mind will think, okay, so there are extra letters that I'm adding on, and then French people will not know what you're talking about anymore. Potentially.
Okay, so the next one we have is FAUX-PAS.
Okay, so faux pas.
Emphasising there.
Yes, I know, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But yes, I mean, it's just got to do with pronunciation, right? But again, it's the same thing. I would say in French, faux pas, un faux pas.
That sounds the same to me, like faux pas.
Well, it's so close and yet so far to the French ear. No, actually this one I think is one of the ones that you would understand the most sort of easily.
Yeah, and then we're coming on to the one which you would not understand at all.
Yes. So do you want to tell us which one that is?
Chaise-Longue.
So I did not know that this was a way that English people said this word, because for me that doesn't, there is, it's not close at all to the way you would say it in French. Also the meaning behind it, right?
Yeah, so like we're like, it's kind of like a lounger, like you're lounging when you're saying this.
And I had to hold my head and shake it and go, oh dear, oh dear. No. Longue means long. It has nothing to do with lounge. So it's a chaise-longue. Une chaise-longue is a long chair. A chair that is where there is the length for you to lie down. To lounge, if you would like.
Exactly, that's why it's called that, right?
But the word itself, longue, is not lounge. At least originally that was not the meaning behind it. So very interesting. Yeah. And also the sound of it. So can you say it again?
Chaise-Longue.
Okay, so it's the French person, apart from the sh at the start, the rest of it is just completely different. Chaise-Longue. So if you want to be understood by French people, try to practice the word saying this way. Obviously, there is an understanding that some French words have now made their way into the English language. So of course, if you heard a faux pas or a rendezvous or a déjà vu, people would know what you're talking about. French people would still understand. But if you start talking about a chaise-longue and
potpourri,
nougat or potpourri, then you know, you might think that you're being very smart in front of a French person, but they won't understand what you're going on about.
Merci d'avoir regardé notre vidéo. Nous espérons que cela vous ait plu.
Si c'est le cas, pensez à liker, commenter et à partager la vidéo avec votre famille et vos amis.
Vous souhaitez en voir davantage? Allez jeter un coup d'œil à notre playlist.
N'oubliez pas de vous abonner à notre chaîne et à cliquer sur la petite cloche pour recevoir des notifications de nos vidéos à venir.